Jackie is a dynamic entrepreneur steering successful ventures in interior design, cleaning, and events companies. With over a decade of expertise as a customer experience manager in fintech, Jackie blends creativity, precision, and innovation. Her journey inspires success and reinvention across industries. Can we put our hands together as we bring Jackie Matarimo to the microphone? And some of you are letting me down. Some are not even clapping. You know? Imagine kama ni wewe. You're the one coming and no one is clapping. So with that, can we give a hand clap? Thank you.
Thank you, Dottie. My heart skipped a bit. I thought I was in the second session for speaking, yeah? So as you've heard, my name is Jackie Matarimo. As you can see, my title, CEO, I'm manifesting that title. Thanks to my good TikToker, she speaks a lot about manifesting. And just like Catherine, like 2 months ago, I decided to quit employment and took a risk of starting my own company. It's called Without a Hitch Interior Design. So I deal with interior design. I'm also venturing into a cleaning business and also event planning. Yeah, so employment is, when COVID happened, we all know what happened when COVID happened. So most of us lost our jobs, and I found myself in that space of not having a job. So I love beautiful spaces. I love beautiful spaces. So I used to go to my friends' houses, just give them ideas, buy this, let's do this. And then a friend of mine told me, Jackie, do you know you can actually do this and make money out of it? So 2 years of COVID, I did interior design. 2 years. And I was making good margins. Then employment came and knocked. We know that comfort we have at the end of the month, there's this amount I'm getting. That comfort. I went back to employment. Imagine after building my company for 2 years, nikayeka huko chini ya kitanda, I went back to employment. So since, when was the year? Since 2002, I went back to employment. I worked with different companies, and then September this year, I decided to take a sabbatical. And again, the fire of running my own company came up, and I'm now doing full-time without a hitch, and I'm very proud of where I am right now. So back to why we are here. So I'll give you a story. Everyone is starting with a story. Let me also give you guys a story. Though I'm not a storyteller, I'll try to be one. So I grew up in Kawangware, the slums of Kawangware. And as I was growing up, I knew that was not the life for me. Trust me. Anyone who has grown up in the slums, we all know what goes on in the slums. And I used to tell myself every single day that this is not the life I want for myself. I want a beautiful life. I want a good life. I want to travel. I want to live in a nice house. We used to live in a small room whereby it has been partitioned by a curtain. Parents wanalala huku, you guys are sleeping here. So I was like, this is not the kind of life that I want. And I can say that I became a risk taker from a very young age. So I come from a very humble background. So by the time I was going to high school, I remember mom telling me, my mom is my hero, that woman, God bless her. I remember my mom telling me, you know how things are hard at home. So she used to go look for bursary. So I got school fees through bursary. So when it came to the shopping, because I was in a boarding school, mama was like, itabidi umechangamka kidogo utafute pesa ya shopping. So I know how to braid hair nicely. So I got this idea of taking a stool, putting it outside our house, and I will tell people, come, let me braid your hair. And that is how I used to make my pocket money and money for shopping all throughout my high school life. Yeah, so after high school, a friend of mine, we went in the same high school, but she got pregnant while we were in Form 2, and she moved to Mombasa. She went and started life in Mombasa. So immediately after high school, she was like, hey, Mombasa ni kuzuri, you come, we try life. I told my mom, I want to go to Mombasa. My mom was like, unaenda Mombasa kufanya nini? I don't even have an ID. Do you have transport to go to Mombasa? I'll plait people's hair, I'll get transport, I'll go to Mombasa. And that is how I went to Mombasa. Stayed there for 1 year. Let me tell you, life was something else. It was really hard, and it was during post-election time. Trust me, I made sure I came back home because life was not easy. I made my way from Mombasa throughout that chaos, all the way to Nairobi, and then now I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Of course, my parents were not able to take me to college at that particular time, but my mom was like, you know, Pastor so-and-so has an NGO. Let me speak to him and see if he can get something for you to do. Thank God, I got a position as a volunteer. It was an NGO that was supporting children who were either infected or affected with HIV and AIDS. So I was a volunteer for like 6 months. I am a very quick learner, and I know how to tetea myself. I know how to position myself. When I see an opportunity, I know how to grab it. So I really positioned myself very well. At the end of it, I got a permanent position at that NGO. So I worked at that NGO for a few years, and then I got an idea, another risk. I got an idea. I was like, these wazungus that are coming here, they have a lot of money. Why can't I also, because I've learned the ropes, why can't I start my own NGO? I mean, I know all the ropes. I've been with this NGO for like 4 years, so I know all the ropes. So in my head, I thought wazungus had different pockets, like money was just everywhere. So I went, I registered a CBO. I got all the papers that I needed. And I decided to communicate to some of the sponsors that I thought were my friend at that time, that I want to start my own NGO. Well, some of them were like, well, it's a good idea, but we all know that how wazungus are loyal. Let me tell you, if there's something that I learned from wazungus, they do not joke with loyalty. So that is a risk that I was willing to take, or I took, but flopped. Because at the end of the day, I did not start my own NGO. I still have that certificate in the house to date. That CBO certificate up to date. But I did not give up at that particular point. But of course, things did not go as expected. And then I went to some sales jobs. Nimesikia watu wengi hapa wamekuwa kwa sales. So I was selling accounts for Equity Bank and KCB Bank. Kawangware Market, I used to be there for like, I think 6 months. It got to a point that when those Mama Soko people saw me, they used to run away because I will start. You will have to open that account. And opening an account, we used to tell you, of course, it's free, but once you've signed, we tell you, no, you have to deposit like 500 or 1,000 bob. So it's not really free. And I will not leave that place until you open that account. So they knew how aggressive I was. So when it was market day, they see me. Sure, because they know they are going to open the accounts and they're going to give me that, not actually give me, they're going to deposit that 500 bob into the account. So that is how aggressive I was. So in my life, I have taken so many risks. The other day when the book came out, my son was reading my chapter. My son could not believe. So my chapter is called From a Tea-Girl to the Corporate World. I was a tea-girl. As much as I look this good, I was a tea-girl. So my son was reading my chapter and he could not believe. He was like, Mom, oh my God, do you mean you are a tea-girl? I'm like, yeah, you guys know this side of me, but you don't know the other side of me. After my son finished reading my chapter, he gave me a hug and told me, Mom, I am so proud of you. Like, we didn't know that, you went all through this for us to be where you are. And I was like, that's a sacrifice that I was making so that you guys can be where you are today. I have 2 children. I have a son. His name is Ace. He's 12 years old, turning 13. And my daughter, her name is Aliyah. She's 8 years old. I love them so much. They give me the power and will to go on. I raise them by myself, so you can imagine. Yeah? So that is why we have to take risks each and every day, because we want a better life for our children. We don't want them to live the kind of life that we lived. I had prepared a small speech. Let me just read it quickly. My time is up. Give me 2 more minutes. And then I was saying I'm not a storyteller. Anyway, so first of all, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Adoso for giving me the incredible opportunity to contribute to this book. So when Mr. Adoso first called me to be part of this project, I thought it was a con. So until he gave me, squeezy, si kuzuri sana. So I was skeptical about the project, but after one phone call with him, everything changed. I remember telling him that the longest piece I have ever written were the compositions and initials that we wrote back in high school. Writing my chapter felt like a risk itself. It meant opening up and sharing parts of my life that not many people know about. The process was both exciting and nervous. It took me about 2 days to complete my chapter, filled with mixed anticipation and self-reflection. Looking back now, I'm so glad I took that risk. Writing my story has been transformative, and I'm proud to be part of this incredible project. Thank you, Mr. Doso, for believing in me and for encouraging me to share my story. To my incredible authors, this book is not just my story, it's our collective story of courage, resilience, and growth. Your voices have made the book powerful, authentic, and inspiring. To my family, my friends, your support has been my foundation. To the publisher and the entire team behind this project, thank you for the guidance, expertise, and believing in our vision. We took a risk was born out of shared experiences of bold decisions and stepping into the unknown. Each story within these pages reflects not only challenges but also transformative power of trusting oneself and embracing the unexpected. The book is about more than just taking risks. It's about learning to grow through them. It's about understanding that failure is often just a stepping stone to something greater. In a world where uncertainty seems to dominate, stories of resilience and determination are more important than ever. My hope is that we took a risk will inspire everyone who reads it to find the courage to chase their dreams, even when the path ahead of us is unclear. Thank you.
Let us put it up for Jacqueline.